Nuzzi. I'm president of the Board of Education, and we're about to reconvene the public session of the meeting. Colleagues, can I get a motion and a second to reconvene the public session of the meeting?
So move Clayton Fernandez.
Second, Jacob.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up on our agenda today is our Board of Education announcements. Would any of my colleagues like to make any announcements today? That's fine.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I just want to say a couple of things. Last week, I had the privilege of attending several outstanding district events, including the high school awards night for seniors, the SAIL culinary graduation, Project Search graduation, and it was summed up by the ribbon cutting at Davis Elementary. What I thought was fantastic at the awards night, we had nearly 200 students were listed, recognized, and awarded, and I tried to count how much money was given out, and I lost track. But well over $130,000 was given out to our students here in New Rochelle. And I was really struck that it was money by New Rochelle for New Rochelle. And it just gave me chills. So I was just so proud of our community and our students. The SAIL culinary graduation, students prepared a wonderful breakfast for those of us who were lucky enough to go. And Project Search at Montefiore was also incredible, seeing what these students do and how wonderful of a resource Montefiore is right here in our own city. And the ribbon cutting at Davis was unbelievable. I arrived at 2:30 last Thursday. It was about 130 degrees, middle of the day. And I walked to the school, and you just saw a sea of adult volunteers in Morgan Stanley shirts working and building, and city school district workers were there, so many people, and it was really, really incredible. The energy and the enthusiasm just was so remarkable. Representatives from the district, Kaboom, and Morgan Stanley all came together to create a community play space at Davis. This was celebrating Kaboom's 30th anniversary. We had the fifth graders performing. The new play space reflects a commitment to the child welfare and community well-being as part of Kaboom's nationwide initiative so that every child has access and benefits to the benefits of play. So many people came together to make this event in, I think it was 2 days, if I really heard correctly. We could not have done this without the community, the school district, the teachers, the parents, the students, and everybody worked incredibly hard, including our facilities and grounds foreman who showed up days before, Trevor Benvenuto, who came days before, leveled a playground, leveled concrete, and was just pouring, doing so much. He moved over 2,700 feet of asphalt to get the playground ready for the children. So I thank you to everybody who showed up last week. It really was a testament to the strength of our community.
Thank you, Ms. Klein. Ms. Lewis?
I will join in the positive sentiments. I was able to attend some of these events with my fellow board member, and one other that we didn't attend together. But for today, congratulations again to all the retirees. It's an honor to have served with you in this capacity. I wish you the best for every year yet to come. I hope all of your retirement dreams come true. And for the events that we did to attend together, I will say that for sales specifically, it really was eye-opening to have not just to have our students serve us breakfast, but we talk a lot about culturally relevant pedagogy. at least particularly in this field in education, and to actually see it in fruition. It was tangible that day. They served us Haitian cuisine. We had Jean Jean. We had it was not just talked about in New Rochelle, it's done, right? And so I just want to say thank you to those that are involved with that program, involved with our students. They did a fantastic job. And to all of our Haitian family and friends, Sak Pakase. And so the last event I attended, it never gets old to shake hands at the award ceremony, so I got to attend that with Will as well. And I think, Will, you can say the same. So congratulations to all of our students that received awards that day. Again, also truly undeserved, and it's our pleasure to be on stage with you.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. I don't know, I might be stealing some of Dr. Reynolds' remarks, but they gave out over $100,000 in scholarships at the senior award ceremony. It was an amazing thing to see, and the last student received a $10,000 scholarship, which was insane. And it was an amazing day. Like Miss Lewis, I like lived in New Rochelle High School last week. I was here 3 days out of the week, and I also got to attend the New Rochelle High School Wall of Fame ceremony where they was inducting 4 new members into the Hall of Fame, and that was such a great event. It was so well done. And if you've not gone to House Two Stacks and seen the wall, please do. It is amazing and very very beautiful. Ms. Williams, do you have any?
Love it. Oh, thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Good evening, New Rochelle. I had the opportunity to attend a few events myself, and I'm a native New Rochellian, and it was just very exciting to see the moving up ceremony for Trinity Elementary School, and that's my alma mater. And the kids have done so much. The students who are graduating from 5th grade going to 6th grade, they started remote and in person due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And since they came into our schools, they have really done some outstanding things. And at Trinity, they did a board presentation last month about how they are observing food wastes, and they're making sure that the food isn't going to waste and people are able to use it. And also, they raised okay, I'll tell you in a moment. This year, they showed what can happen when a community comes together. They work together through WizFit. It's a WizFit challenge, and their school raised $20,000 for an outdoor classroom. And they work to support each other, and they also welcome CBS meteorologist John Elliott, and they learned about weather science. And they were featured in a live Earth Day broadcast. And they reflect the mission of their school and also of the district. And the theme of the moving up ceremony was the Lion King. Tomorrow, I have the privilege of attending the moving up ceremony for the 5th graders going to 6th grade at Davis Elementary School. And the 5th graders are definitely role models for the younger students. And they demonstrate kindness, responsibility, and school pride. And this is also a cohort who really helped to lead a lot of the new playground project leading up to last week's build. And they ran tables, they sang, they cheered, and they did a lot. And they also designed participated in the design of the new playground. And this is a legacy project that they will leave for the students who are coming behind them. And this is something that they definitely will remember for the rest of their lives. And this is just part of the magic of New Rochelle. Throughout my tenure, or throughout my education in the New Rochelle Public School District, there are just so many wonderful things that I remember that happened as I was a student in the New Rochelle Public Schools. And I'm just really thankful that that is still happening today for the students who are here, and it will continue to happen for future generations of students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Does anybody else have any comments? Ms. Clayton Fernandez?
No, I'll be brief. I just want to say, as a board member, it was an honor to attend Ward's Moving Up ceremony. The school holds such near and dear memories because my 3 kids went there. So I attended their 9 and their 10:30, and it was just heartwarming to see the same dedicated group of people, Mr. Harris and Mr. Principal Mealy, and just amazing teachers that have just given so much. We're so blessed to have a community of teachers who really work that hard continuously. Also went to Barnard's, and that blew me away because that's a musical sensation. And I just, parents out there, if you're listening, you got a lot of gemstones growing. And I just hope they have a wonderful summer, read a lot, play a lot, and just know that sure to be their best version of themselves it grows with the village. It comes from us and it comes from you. So enjoy the journey. And also the Goat Fest was memorable. Those of you who saw the Goat Fest at Ward Acres, it was exciting because the weather was nice and these goats were taking care of invasive plants that were not good with our little gardening that we were trying to move out. And it was great not to have chemicals to kill the plants. It was the goats feeding well, and the kids interacted with it. And it's what I think the 3rd year. So I'm just really proud of our little school trying to make strides with conservation and education and preservation for everyone, for all parties involved. So keep an eye on all of these things for your community, because we always need more hands on deck.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, Dr. Reynolds, I'll throw it over to you for your superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, President Iannuzzi. To all of our board members, good evening. To our families and friends who are watching or who are here in the audience, I greet you tonight in the name of the New York Knicks. Yes, I am an official coach in my dreams. But tonight we are starting the season of celebration. Celebrations have started in our schools with our moving up ceremonies. We are preparing for graduations from our middle schools as well as from the high school. And we would like to remind everybody that next week on Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, we will be celebrating Isaac Young's moving up ceremony here at the high school. Well, on Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, we will be celebrating New Rochelle High School's graduation at the Westchester County Center. This is the centennial class. This is the 100th anniversary of New Rochelle High School's existence here on Clove Road, and we'll be celebrating that. And then Thursday morning, we will be celebrating Albert Leonard Middle School's moving up ceremony here at the high school. Please keep in mind that schools and offices are closed this Friday in celebration of Juneteenth. And if you don't know what Juneteenth is, I encourage you to please research what occurred on June 19th, 1865. But that is the reason why we are closed on Friday. Going back to the Knicks, we are celebrating history. I've waited 53 years to celebrate this. I am going to remind all of our students and faculty and staff that school is open tomorrow. We know what's happening in Manhattan, but if I am going to be here, I hope that you will be here as well. But it is an exciting time. We would also like to acknowledge individuals who are um, going down a different path for their future. So this evening, we recognize 69 retirees from the City School District of New Rochelle. That is a pretty large number, but we're very excited for those individuals who will be going on to the next part of their lives. In the room this evening with us is one of those retirees, one of those retirees, Mr. Keith Watkins, who is going to be retiring coming up in the next few weeks. And sitting right across the aisle from him is not his replacement, but the person who will be walking in his shadow for a little while, Mr. Jim Hubel. So we welcome you aboard. We'd also like to recognize someone who's not with us tonight, Dr. Gail Joyner, who will be retiring from the City School District of New Rochelle. We wish her all the best in her next part of her journey. And for those of us who recall, her position will be filled by Dr. Camille Edwards Thomas, the current principal of Albert Leonard Middle School, who will be coming into the new role. So let's give them a round of applause. And we would like to thank Ms. Joan Garone for her time here in the City School District of New Rochelle, our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, who will be moving on to the next phase of her life. Thank you for all that you've done. And sitting here in the audience, I'd like to recognize, hopefully in advance of a board approval, is our soon-to-be named Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, Dr. Julio Velasquez, who's also sitting here. So let's give them both a round of applause. Some of Joan's goals during her time here was not just to have Human Resources be a responsive office, but one who is a celebratory office. And tonight, you see behind us scrolling recognition of the 260 members of our City School District of New Rochelle who have served the children of New Rochelle for over 25 years. For the first time, our Human Resources Department is recognizing an achievement of this type. So we would like to thank Joan for her vision in that, and you will see the names scrolling by. These are representations of the certificates that each of the individuals of our organization who have served more than 25 years in the district have either received or will be receiving over the next few days, in addition to a very, very special lapel pin that is in a small availability because you have to be in that special club. So, Joan, thank you for bringing that vision to fruition. We appreciate you. And I did fail to mention that our 69 retirees are taking with them over 1,000 years of experience, over 1,000 years. So let that sink in with the brain trust that will be leaving the district. But I've also implored them, and I'm going to do it again. If you should get bored, I'm going to look right into the camera. Should you be bored after you've had your summer off, please don't forget that we need substitute teachers. So if you are interested in coming back and serving at your whim, please, for all of our retirees, reach out to the Human Resources Department and sign up to be one of our substitute teachers. We greatly need you. And with that, please be reminded, ladies and gentlemen, that the last 3 days of school this year, June 24th, June 25th, and June 26th. Do I have those dates right? I'm trying to do this from memory. Let me not. Yes, that those days are all half days for our schools. So please keep that in mind. Please check the calendar for the time of dismissal for your respective school, as we know that our elementary schools are now tiered. Lastly, to our students, I'm going to plead with you. Please take it easy on your families this summer. Please make sure that you have a safe, rejuvenating, and celebratory summer. Please make sure that you're reading during the summer, even if it's a graphic novel, even if it's a cereal box. I don't care what it is. Please make sure to remember to read. Make sure that you are learning something new, and make sure that you're creating memories that will last you for the rest of your lives. Thank you for all that you bring to us on a daily basis, but we want you to come back to us in a better state than you leave us here in June. So happy summer, everybody. And with that, Mr. Iannuzzi, I turn the mic back over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reynolds. So the next items on our agenda tonight are our farewells to those who are leaving us on the dais today. And we have two, our board member, Gwen Clayton Fernandez, and our first ever student board member, Ms. Cameron Tung. So colleagues, we have commendations prepared for both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a motion in a second and then read the resolution. And then we'll vote on it. And then anyone who, well, I'm going to open the floor to my colleagues to say any remarks they would like to make and let our colleagues as well speak. So colleagues, can I get a motion in a second to approve resolution number 26-447, commending Gwen Clayton Fernandez as a member of the Board of Education?
So moved. So moved, Williams.
Second, Jacob.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So let me read it for everyone. Whereas the term of office of Gwen Clayton Fernandez, a member of the Board of Education of the City School District of the City of New Rochelle, since May 21st, 2024 is concluding. And whereas Ms. Clayton Fernandez's tenure as a Board of Education member was distinguished by a profound dedication to the responsibilities of the office, an abiding commitment to the improvement of educational opportunities for all children, and a steadfast focus on fostering excellence and equity in public education, all while advocating for the productive and cost-effective management of New Rochelle's public schools. And whereas Ms. Clayton Fernandez brought thoughtful leadership, integrity, and a collaborative spirit to the Board of Education, approaching each decision with a deep sense of responsibility to student, families, educators, and taxpayers. And whereas Ms. Clayton Fernandez served with distinction as a volunteer in several capacities, including as a member of the Audit Committee, a participant in the Board of Education School Board Buddy Program, a member of the Health and Safety Rescue Committee, a member of the Protect Committee, a member of the Green Schools Committee, and serving as the Westchester Putnam School Boards Association Legislative Advocacy Liaison, where she helped strengthen relationships between the board and school communities. And whereas in recognition of her tireless service to the youth and families of New Rochelle, Ms. Clayton Fernandez has received numerous accolades and awards, including completion of the New York State School Boards Association Fiscal Oversight Fundamentals Training, completion of the Westchester Putnam School Boards Association Mandated Governance Training, and NYSBA School Board Recognition Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this Board of Education, for itself and on behalf of the people of New Rochelle, whose trustee it is, conveys its most sincere gratitude and appreciation to Gwen Clayton Fernandez for her faithful dedication, extraordinary, tireless, and conscientious service, and for her unwavering commitment to equity, transparency, and excellence in public education. And be it further resolved that this resolution, the highest honor in our power to bestow, be and hereby is made part of the official records of the Board of Education of the City School District of the City of New Rochelle, New York, and that a copy be transmitted to Ms. Clayton Fernandez bearing the official seal and the signatures of members of the Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools, and the Clerk and Secretary to the Board of Education. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately, with our heartfelt wishes to Ms. Clayton Fernandez and her family for continued good health, happiness, and many more years of personal and professional fulfillment. Congratulations, Gwen. Yeah.
And in addition, you will also be receiving a certificate on behalf of the New Rochelle City School District, Westchester Putnam School Boards Association, We are honored to recognize Gwen Clayton Fernandez, whose support of public education, commitment to educational excellence, and dedicated leadership has enhanced the quality of education for all the students in the district. On this date, June 2026, signed by myself as well as by Karen Bellinger, Executive Director, Westchester Putnam School Boards Association.
Miss Bonilla, bring out the presents. Commendation and our resolution, if you could pass that down to Gwen. And we have some nice flowers and a brand new New Rochelle bomber jacket. Yeah. Colleagues, would anyone like to say anything before Ms. Clayton Fernandez speaks?
I will make, oh,
Um, Gwen, I just want to thank you for getting to know, that I had the opportunity to get to know you in the last year. You were one of the first people to welcome me on the board. Your energy and enthusiasm, um, and your unwavering commitment to New Rochelle and the students and everybody in the city is really inspiring. And, you know, I hope that what I've learned from you, um, you know, I take with me, you know, during my tenure here. And what I've learned from you is everything you do with such passion has just strengthened our schools and our communities. And I really appreciate that. And I wish you all the best.
we'll try and make this brief. I will say that your time on the board has flown by. I feel like you started with me yesterday, and all of a sudden you're leaving me. So I want to say thank you for all the hours that you put in, for all the questions that you've asked. Everything that you think of has the feelings of others at the heart of it, and it really is your strong suit. So don't let anyone tell you it's not. So it really is your strong suit, and it helps us remember, you know, the feelings of others that we're doing this on behalf of, right? So I wish you the best this year. You will be immediately missed. I remember when you were running, so I'm glad I can go from having heard of you to knowing you.
Tonight, we recognize the Honorable Gwen Clayton Fernandez as she continues, concludes her service on the City School District of New Rochelle Board of Education. Gwen, thank you for answering the call to serve. You ran for the board because you believe that our school boards matters, and they do. School boards are where community voices meet educational leadership. They help determine priorities, allocate resources, and ensure that students remain at the center of every decision. We ran alongside our fellow New Rochelians, Miriam DeSeem, Mr. Vincent Malfitano, and Board of Education President William Iannuzzi, and board member Sam Singal. To get together, we have had and made important decisions and have had challenging conversations, always striving to move our district forward. Your commitment to advocating for the members of the New Rochelle community has been evident throughout your term. Public service is one of the highest forms of civic engagement, and we thank you for sharing your time, talents, and energy with our district. As Margaret Mead famously said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you, Gwen, for being one of those committed citizens. Your service has helped shape our schools and strengthen our community. We wish you continued success and happiness in whatever comes next.
My turn. My turn. Okay. I just wanted to give my little thanks to somebody that I like to call my little board buddy because, with the exception of today, they sat us across the room, but at every other meeting, we've been sitting next to each other. And I just want to thank you specifically for giving me the support and always welcoming me to every meeting and asking me how my day was, how school is going, what I'm doing for college. And it's just one of those things that has been very special to me. And I wanted to thank you for that and wish you all the best in the future.
I was going to say something similar, but I'm at a different stage of my life than you, Cameron. But similarly, agreeing with everything everyone said, and to be brief, congratulations. You have earned this. You've put in your service, but we really will miss you. But what I have appreciated sitting next to you, you've kind of also been like my board mom, always just checking in on me and also showing me the ropes a bit. So thank you.
I know Millie has something she wants to say.
Just to echo what everybody else has said as well, it has flown by. I feel like you just came on. And for those of you that don't really know Gwen, she is one of the sweetest people. It's genuinely be so nice to work for you. I mean, the whole board, but just we're really going to miss you. We really are. It's been so nice to have such a nice group that genuinely cares for the students, the community, the district, but also for all of our colleagues as well. So we're really going to miss you.
And Gwen, just for myself, so we've known each other for 15 years, because if you don't know, Gwen actually hired me as a summer camp counselor at the Boys and Girls Club. So the reason I've been there is because of Gwen. And it's been great to reconnect with you when we ran and just being on the board for the past 2 years. You have really been an amazing addition to the board, asking the hard questions and really thinking outside of the box. And I really appreciate that. And I think we all collectively as a board appreciate your contribution that you have made. So thank you, congratulations. Maybe we'll see you in a couple years, maybe. But thank you, and on behalf of everyone, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Just adding my words, wishing you the very best. We started this together, and we'll be missing you next year, and wishing you all the happiness.
After I've just put a piece of candy in my mouth, I can call you Gwen now. I want to thank you for being the quiet in the room. And when I say that, it's not because you've been quiet, but your presence has been a quiet calmness. I want to thank you for speaking on behalf of those who are not always represented in the room. I want to thank you for making sure that every decision is seen from another perspective, sometimes a perspective that we are not even thinking about in the moment. And doing so in such a respectful and, again, quiet yet powerful way. I am pleased to have known you before you ran for the board. I will not put out a commercial for anything, but I will tell you, you've been feeding me for a long time. And I thank you for stepping up in a time where we needed someone to step up. And thank you for being a part of this community and representing everything that is necessary for students by putting your own daughters in their seats and thinking about this is what they needed, this is what's still needed. Thank you for being who you are.
Sticking. I'm not one. Let's start mic today. I'm not one for big, long speeches, but I will say that if there ever was an incredible board to work with, this was one. I have known board members since I moved into this town in 2001. I made it my point to know them. They are extraordinary leaders then, and they lead the charge now. It is remarkable to see the commitment, the hard work. Behind the scenes, Millie, oh my goodness, she does the work of 10, her and Rolanda. Um, I remember when I started, I had this, big 3-inch binder, and it was pretty organized until I saw Millie's and the one that Will and the team put together. This board is one to, no joke, this board is dedicated, and they don't just show up and show out, they dig in. They dig in and they make sure that all the hard questions and all the things that we need to do as board members, we're prepared. And so honestly, this was an honor and a privilege because I thought I knew my community, but when you really serve, you learn that the lions and the tigers and the beautiful people that they're supporting, it's all one big circle. And the circle is sharing. It's really about sharing. It's about giving your time, but it's about sharing. And when we can have a community of leaders who really dedicate this kind of time, not just to the performatory, the job, but to the underneath, the real root of issues, taking the time to read through, talk through. Sometimes these meetings, they go long because we want to understand, we want to ask the hard questions, and we want to be able to serve our community that voted us in, the taxpayers, the teachers that rely on the work. It's complex. And honestly, I would love to come, it would be an honor to be back on the board. I need a minute. I'm working on something. Um, but honestly, it is a very organized, true blue, and a great team to work with. Every last one of them, honestly. New Rochelle, we're so lucky. And it was, again, a privilege to just stay in the room and learn from you, because it is humbling when you come on the board. You realize, you think you know, but your kids go to school here, you know the players, you know your city council. But to be a good board member and to govern, you really have to do a lot of listening, and you also have to really read, do your homework, and you also have to really care and show up because you said you would. So thank you for that. And I just, again, the paths will cross again. I'll say that.
Thank you, Gwen. Now on to our student board member, Ms. Cameron Tung. So colleagues, can I get a motion and a second to approve resolution number 26-448, commending Cameron Tung as the inaugural student member of the Board of Education?
So move, Louis.
Second, Clayton Fernandez.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So let me read this for you, Cameron. Whereas Cameron Tung, a senior at New Rochelle High School, served with distinction as the first ever student member of the Board of Education of the City School District of the City of New Rochelle during the 2025-2026 school year. And whereas the inaugural student member of the Board of Education, Ms. Tung established a lasting legacy of student leadership by bringing the perspectives, experiences, and aspirations of district students directly into the board's deliberations, helping to strengthen communication, understanding, and collaboration between students and educational leaders. And whereas Ms. Tung demonstrated exceptional dedication and professionalism in this pioneering role by regularly sharing feedback and updates from students throughout the district, working collaboratively with administrators and board members, and thoughtfully advocating for initiatives and decisions that would positively impact the educational experience of our peers. And whereas Ms. Tung's commitment to service extended well beyond the Board of Education, as she served as an avid volunteer with the New Rochelle PTSA and its longstanding Popcorn Fridays fundraiser, reflecting her unwavering dedication to supporting the school community and fostering school spirit. And whereas Ms. Tong distinguished herself as a student leader through her service as president of Hope from the Heart, a club devoted to raising awareness and support for breast cancer research, as a member of the Ignite Program's executive board, as a student government liaison, and as a dedicated 3-year participant in the PAVE Art program, demonstrating a remarkable commitment to leadership, advocacy, creativity, and civic engagement. And whereas Ms. Tong further exemplified perseverance, teamwork, and sportsmanship as the senior captain of the New Rochelle High School varsity tennis team, serving as a role model to younger student athletes and representing New Rochelle with pride and distinction. And whereas through her historic service as the district's first student member of the Board of Education, Ms. Tung helped establish an important tradition of student voice and governance, setting a standard of excellence that will inspire future generations of student representatives to lead with integrity, compassion, and purpose. And whereas Ms. Tung will continue to pursue her academic and professional aspirations in the fall as she attends Marist University, where she plans to study fashion merchandising, carrying with her the values of service, leadership, and dedication that have defined her contribution to the New Rochelle community. And now, therefore, be it resolved that this Board of Education, for itself and on behalf of the people of New Rochelle, whose trustee it is, conveys its most sincere gratitude and appreciation to Cameron Tung for her historic and exemplary service as the inaugural student member of the Board of Education, and commends her for her leadership, advocacy, and steadfast commitment to representing the voices of new students throughout the City School District of New Rochelle. And be it further resolved that this resolution, the highest honor in our power to bestow, be and hereby is made part of the official records of the Board of Education of the City School District of the City of New Rochelle, New York, and that a copy be transmitted to Ms. Tung, bearing the official seal and the signatures of members of the Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools, and the Clerk and Secretary to the Board of Education. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately, with our heartfelt congratulations and best wishes to Cameron Tung and her family for continued success, happiness, and fulfillment as she embarks upon this exciting new chapter at Marist University and beyond. Congratulations. And Ms. Bonilla, bring out the gifts. So we first have our resolution for you. I'll pass down. And like Ms. Clayton Fernandez, Ms. Bonilla has a beautiful bouquet of flowers and City School District of New Rochelle bomber jacket. Colleagues, who would like to start first?
I will gladly go first. Okay. First of all, not only are you beautiful to all eyes, but you have the biggest heart and you're so smart. And we're just, honestly, we were so blessed to have someone who really cared about the students and just the little things. I mean, the way you thought how to bring the bees and the honey and just all of the things that make holistic students special into the classroom, outside the classroom. That kind of, we really picked an incredible student. And I just can't wait to see more, more of what's coming because you are a butterfly and you keep making these little changes and transforming. And these wings are going to just be just enormous. But this is what you bring in your light. You bring light. You look for it. You bring it. The company that you keep, we can see it. We can see it when you walk, not just when you enter the room, but your friends and how you show up for them and how you show up for your community. And amongst all the homework and all the commitments, you made time for us, the parents and the board. And none of us should take that lightly because honestly, most people care mostly about themselves. When you deal with the board, you realize it's a lot about everyone else but yourself. So that says a lot. And I want to also add, Corey, you've been such a great leader for our students. You lead by such great example. We are truly blessed to have your kind of leadership from the top down. It brings light and plant seeds. You have no idea the gardening that's always happening every time, you make a decision and move forward for the best interest of the school district. And we have students like this that are under your watch, that are under the principal's watch. And it's just, honestly, we're just so blessed to have the experience to know her personally. But more importantly, we're going to see all of the students that have been graduating. I believe this class is very unique for that. And I think you're part of that leadership. So thank you for bringing it.
I'll be very quick then. I just want to say congratulations. To be the inaugural is a big deal, right? You set the precedent, you set the standard for those to follow. Your announcements to us about what's going on at the high school have always been succinct and easily digestible. You did the best. You did the best job you could do, and that's all we ever ask of our students. So good luck next year, your next floor. I can't wait for you to come back and visit. A few of us will still be here, and just wishing you all the best.
Yes, tonight we celebrate the Honorable Cameron Tong for successfully completing the inaugural year of the Student Ex Officio Board Member for the City School District of New Rochelle. Cameron, thank you for serving as the voice of New Rochelle High School. While the role did not include a vote, your presence mattered. Your insights mattered. Your voice mattered. This position was created because New York State recognized that students deserve a seat at the table when decisions affecting their education are being discussed. Throughout the year, you demonstrated exactly why student representation is so important. You brought a unique perspective that only a current student can provide, helping us better understand the experiences of our student body. You listened, observed, participated in discussions, and represented your peers with integrity and professionalism. In doing so, you helped strengthen the connections between the Board of Education and the students we serve. Former First Lady of the United States of America, Michelle Obama, said, "Your voice is important and deserves to be heard." Thank you, Cameron, for using your voice to make our schools stronger. Congratulations on a successful year, and best wishes as you continue your educational journey. And please run for the Board of Education in any municipality that you live in.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Klein?
I'll be very brief. Thank you for coming and doing this. I will say you are the best student board member we've ever had, that the district has ever had, and we're so lucky for you. And thank you for dedicating your time, of which you clearly didn't have much of, listening to your accomplishments. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Cameron, for on behalf of myself as well. We got to meet and Millie went to the high school. We met with you and Dr. Attiles, and we went over the role of what it looks like. And this was also new to us. So this is our first student board. We've had student liaisons before, but never a student board member. So, and me and Dr. Reynolds talked, we're like, oh, what is this really going to look like? But we do want to thank you and everything that you brought to the role. I think was very important for us to have the student perspective, and you were great at that, and we really appreciate it. And I want to break the news now. We have a picture of Cameron ready to be put on a wall somewhere at City Hall to start our first wall of student board members. So we are really excited for that. Miss Bonilla has it all set up already, and we're looking for the wall right now. And so when we find it, we will let you know. But thank you for setting the standard and being that example for many students to come.
Trustee Tung. Many school boards have had the practice of setting a chair in the middle of the room to represent the child, the children, the students. You literally filled that seat. I want to thank you for stepping up to a call that had never been made before. I want to thank you for stepping up and representing the students of New Rochelle, reminding us of what's important on a daily basis, reminding us that our conversations matter. I want to thank you for your resilience, for your fortitude, and for your bravery, because sometimes the conversations in this room can be such that would unnerve an adult. And you've been able to withstand that and do that with grace. So I am pleased to be able to say, I knew you when, because I see nothing but greatness in your future. And I hope to be reading and hearing about you, and that this foray into civic engagement and public service wets your whistle to do that on a larger stage. So congratulations, Cameron. We're going to miss you, but I hope that we can call on you if we should need you again in the future. Thank you for your service.
Cameron, yeah, your turn.
I had to write this down. Okay. So good evening to the Nourishell community, my fellow trustees and board members. Again, my name is Cameron, and I'm a soon-to-be graduating senior from Nourishell High School. And I just want to thank you guys for such an incredible opportunity. This has really been something that has changed my year, and it was something that was so that I wasn't expecting, but it really made all the difference. Um, and it's been such an honor to hold such an important position. And I just want to thank a couple people. So you're going to hear me say thank you like 10 times, but it's okay. Thank you to my student government for choosing me for this position. Thank you to Dr. Artiles. You have supported me through this whole transition, and I know that this will make all the more impact on our entire school's community. Thank you to Miss Millie Bonilla for the constant email reminders and invitations, and for always being there to support me and answer my questions. I would like to thank Superintendent Dr. Corey Reynolds and President William Iannuzzi for your unwavering support and unconditional kindness throughout this entire year. Um, and it's just been a whole new chapter that I didn't even know I was interested in, but you guys have helped me open my eyes and realize that being such an important representative is something that I love to do and that you guys have given me the voice to do so. I would also like to thank my fellow board trustees for welcoming me with open arms. And I would like to give thanks to the entire Nourishell community for encouraging me to share my thoughts and opinions. Most importantly, I'd like to thank my family and friends for continuing to support me throughout this journey. While the meetings have been long and it was difficult at times to juggle my schoolwork, my actual work, and other extracurriculars that I have, everyone has supported me through this process and has just made it that much easier for me. So I can successfully say that I was committed to this position all year and I played my part in the community. Um, so I do now have the honor of speaking about our recent student government elections, and I would like to recognize the new student representative. To my fellow trustees, please just continue to treat him with the same kindness and respect that you guys have given me this past year, because it's made the process so much easier for me that I think if you continue to do that, it will be that much easier for him. And to our new trustee, I just want to let you know that you're in such good hands and that whenever you have a question or a comment or a suggestion, please feel free to speak your mind and just do what you got to do. And so it is my honor to welcome to the podium Lev Goldsmith.
All right. Thank you again, Cameron, for the introduction. My name is, as she said, Lev Goldsmith. And over the next year, I will look forward to working with each person in this room to create a better and brighter future for the thousands of students in this district. I've spent all 17 years of my life living in New Rochelle and going to New Rochelle public schools, so I truly understand what many of our students experience each day. Over the past few years, I've had the honor of lobbying on Capitol Hill and working for our Congressman George Latimer to create a better future for the youth of America. I hope to use what I have learned from my work experience, my time on the varsity football team, and my studies to create a better school experience, not just for New Rochelle High School students, but for all students across the district. I've made promises to my peers during the campaign to ensure that each and every one of their voices are heard, and I plan to ensure that promise becomes a reality. I look forward to the upcoming year working with this board for the sake of our school community that we all love. Thank you.
Thank you, Lev and Cameron. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, everyone. So we have 3 discussion items, and the first being the retiree recognition. So Dr. Reynolds, I'll throw it over to you.
Thank you very much, President Iannuzzi. As mentioned earlier, this evening we celebrated 69 individuals who are retiring from the school district. And again, they collectively bring over 1,000 years of knowledge and experience into the room. And we are going to miss them. A part of our family is leaving. But in most cases, if not all, they're leaving for the next part of their lives. This is not the end, but it's just the beginning. And something that I shared with them this evening, and I'll make it very public, is I shared with them, I'm a man of a certain belief, and my prayer for them is that the days and years ahead are better than the ones that are behind them. And that is our hope collectively for all of the individuals who are leaving. So for the 69, and this started at 4 o'clock for them, so we told them they didn't have to stay, so I don't think we have any here this evening other than those who have to be here, Mr. Watkins. For those who are retiring, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for your time, your service, your selflessness in serving the children of New Rochelle, in saving, and I shared with them, they probably will never hear or know in any instance that they might have saved somebody's life just with an interaction, or just with a hello, or just with a handshake, or just with a pat on the back. We thank you for the service you have brought to our students here. They're better for it, and they are better because of you. So thank you very much for your service.
Just to echo Dr. Reynolds, on behalf of the board, we thank all the retirees for everything they've done. Joan, thank you. Keith, we'll miss you, even though you're a Mets fan. We will miss you. But I also, getting to look through their certificates, I earlier in May, I had to go to the office and sign all the certificates as well. And just looking at the names and knowing some of them were my teachers. I just want to shout out my house principal at the time, Mr. Barbosa, and my earth science teacher, Mr. Maresco, when I was in 9th grade here at the high school, and what the impact they've had on me when I was a student here. And so I just want to thank them and thank all the retirees. Okay, our next item is the 26-27 district-wide school safety plan, and I'll throw it back over to you, Dr. Reynolds.
Thank you very much. The district-wide safety plan is a New York State requirement for every district to have a plan in place for foreseeable and unforeseeable emergencies. The plan has to be revisited, has to be revised, and readopted on an annual basis. Any prescriptions that are necessary based on New York State standards must be included into the plan. It must be reviewed at a meeting before the July 1st adoption, which is what we're doing this evening. But in most instances, what's required is really just the changing of any names and titles based on the responsibilities within the plan. So the plan moving from this year to next year really reflects only changes in names and titles as necessary.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Colleagues, does anyone have any questions about the district-wide school safety plan? All right, seeing none, thank you, Dr. Reynolds. So this is now like a 30-day public comment period for this?
That is correct.
Members of the public have any questions or comments? Where do they send that to?
I believe it's sent directly to, we have a section on our website, Monica. We'll have the district safety plan posted on our website. And at that space, you can leave comment there and it will be reviewed by the board.
Perfect. Thank you very much. The last item for discussion, and this is a real quick one, is our 26-27 board meeting calendar. So the calendar is public. It's on board docs. We encourage any comments for board members and/or members of the public. We won't be voting on this until our reorganization meeting on July 1st. So if anyone sees any potential conflicts, especially with holidays, that's a big one. We encourage anyone to reach out to us. Colleagues, any questions or comments on the calendar? All right, seeing none, thank you.
We are going to get ready to start our public comment. So during the time that the board president makes the announcement about the expectations, I'm going to just escort Cameron out and also just shake hands with Lev, and then I'll be back.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to convene into the public comment period of the meeting. The Board of Education adopted Policy 1230 in April 2022 to ensure all members of the public had the opportunity to speak at both of our board meetings each month. We believe it is crucial for us to hear from our community members about their concerns and issues. Having said that, please note that the board is here to listen. The public comment period is not designed to be a discussion. Accordingly, understand the board will not respond to your concerns and questions tonight. We take your concerns and questions seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues if need be. We will, however, respond to your questions and concerns at a future meeting or have the proper staff member get back to you at the appropriate time. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to entertain any comments or questions about school personnel and students. Please know, however, that we take personal concerns very seriously. On these matters, we'd actually go through the appropriate administrative channels. Finally, we recognize that right now our nation and our community are polarized on a number of issues. That said, we want our school board meetings to serve as an example to our students that members of our school board and members of our community can deal with controversial issues in a civil manner and demonstrate mutual respect for one another. In that spirit, we will insist that all speakers and members of the audience maintain civility and respect for any divergent views that others possess. We ask that speakers please address their comments to the board directly rather than the audience. In the unlikely event the meeting becomes unruly, the board will recess the meeting and return once order has been restored. Finally, I want to remind everyone that you may submit written comments to the board in lieu of speaking during the public comment period if you so choose. Tonight, we've set aside 30 minutes for public comment, where each speaker who has signed up before 3:30 today has 3 minutes to speak. If a person requests to speak after 3:30, speakers may sign up in person at the meeting with the clerk and will also be afforded the opportunity to speak during the public comment period if time permits. Our first speaker of the night is Dr. Alprentice McCutcheon.
Good evening, all. Prentice McCutcheon, 31 Faneuil Place. I haven't been here in a while, so it's good to touch the mic again and speak on the record. I come with two missions in mind, and that's to speak on behalf of projection and then reflection. So the projection, I'm looking forward to talking about and reminding us about the beautiful funding that has happened for our orchestra. And I'm hoping that we can project and continue to find the monies and be proactive in making sure that the students, the community members, such as our children who have benefited tremendously from instruments and music, supporting that side of the brain and the deductive side of the brain, helps support them in their education, their academics, and all endeavors that they may entail. So I'm hoping that we project and continue to be proactive so that we're not looking at a year by year, but finding stability and security and certainty in the resources needed for the funding for orchestra and music. Then now I come to you as a transparent. I'm a member of our staff here in the district. I'm finishing my 28th year as an educator in New York State, my 8th year, I think my 8th year here at New Rochelle High School. So I want to reflect upon, and usually in this time of the year, I'm in a reflective mode from just things that have happened throughout the course of the year, and I'm excited about next year and what's to happen. So I'm reflecting upon an experience I had with some students towards the end of May. And as a part of, as a port member of My Brother's Keeper, can I say the organization? Is that good? Okay. My Brother's Keeper, as well as My Sister's Keeper, a few of us were able to take some students, about 40 or so students, up to the Iroquois campgrounds, about an hour and a half away, towards the end of May. And that experience was life altering for the students that were there. So much so that as we reflected, one of our major themes was a couple things. Was knowing your worth and just having kind of breakout discussions around that. And as also, what's the story that we tell for them? So upon hearing their reflections, and many of which included the word joy, being able to get outside and being a retreat, if you will, and we as adults know what it's like to be in a retreat. We have to get out of our environment to kind of figure out how we can move forward. So they needed to get out of their environment to move forward academically, personally, socially, emotionally. So being able to get outside their environment, experienced each other without their phones, by the way, and come with the word joy at the end of that reminded me how much we need to support My Brother's Keeper and My Sister's Keeper, find the funding, support the administrator, the director of that program, and administrators that help support that. Please, let's continue to support My Brother's Keeper and its place-based activities such as that campgrounds. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up is Mr. Vincent Malfitano. I don't see him. Next up is Miss Brenda DiGiacomo. I do not see her either. Would anyone else like to sign up for public comment? Yep, Dr. Rosa Ramirez McCutcheon.
Okay, that's all. First of all, congratulations to Gwen and to Karen for finishing your term, and thank you for your service. And congratulations to the board for completing another term or your first year. I know that it's a tremendous responsibility and sacrifice in terms of your time and your energies, and so I just want to acknowledge that. And as we end the year and sort of riffing off of Dr. McCutcheon's comments around reflecting and projecting what's to come in the future, I think it's an important time to reflect on what the challenges were over the course of this last year. And as the board is reconstituting and looking ahead, to really think about what are some of the lessons learned and how do we start some of that work early rather than sort of later on. And so in the spirit of that, I want to just echo what Dr. McCutcheon said, which is that the community has expressed this really strong desire to maintain our music programs, only in the United States. Or do we think about music and the arts as, something that is sort of extra and not something that's integral? And so we want to make sure that we don't have this sort of one-off, last minute, 11th hour funding to support our music programs, that we really cultivate that. My kids were in song catchers. So many of the kids are in that are in the orchestra and the jazz and music were song catchers participants, and that was supplemented through their ability to take music and in their elementary school. So let's try to make sure that we prioritize that. I don't know what the status of this is, but with Mr. Gustavo Barbosa retiring, I really do hope that the board takes seriously the community's desires to maintain a leadership position in that chair role, social studies and business. There are a lot of folks, it's important work. And then I want to turn and look forward to two things. One is, again, to really focus on some important stuff, which is what happened to the data dashboard that was supposed to be available to the public that is not working, and that is really important piece of communication for us to really stay on top of how the district is doing. And we know from the pandemic that sort of revealed how limited and ineffective communication can really limit students' outcomes. We talked way back then about a learning management system. Google Classroom is not a learning management system. And what we need as families who are looking at our students' work, we need to be able to sort of see in the moment how our kids are doing, rather than what ends up happening, which is this lag time between interim reports and progress reports and those things, where the cycle of kids making up classwork and just to get the pass, rather than really concentrating and emphasizing student success on a consistent basis. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. McCutcheon. Would anybody else like to sign up for public comment? Ms. Miriam Desim.
Good evening, Miriam Desim, Mount Joy. I wasn't even going to come, but all this reflection, I said, okay, you know what? We just have to keep emphasizing things that matter to us. I am a little sad that we're celebrating our 100th year anniversary and this beautiful school that we have. And again, our graduation is taking place at County Center. So I want to remind you that we haven't forgotten that this big change to our tradition is something that really impacts our families. We can accommodate people here. We can accommodate even when we don't have good weather. We're supposed to be able to go inside. We actually have a lot more room than what we had before. We have a whole, house floor to bring people in. We can make cooling centers. We didn't put a lot of thought into how we can bring folks inside and accommodate the elderly, the very young, and the weather, which we've been doing for a good 100 years. So just want to let you know and remind you that we're still interested in bringing our celebration back here. And it's sad that 100 years and we're not doing it here. I attended the celebration last year, the ceremony, because my nephew graduated. And it was not anything compared to what we would have here, because it's like this long corridor. So the kids are way up front, you can't see them. We're sitting way back. Well, those of us who are lucky enough to sit up front, but if you're not, you're way back. You can't see anything that's happening. You can't see the stage. Here in our beautiful school, you have like this 360 view of what's going on. You're able to move around, to take pictures as needed. And of course, we have yet to hear how much this is costing us. And, in a time of tight budgets, we should be maximizing and optimizing what we already have here. So I don't want us to forget that in our 100-year celebration. The other thing I want to bring up is we talked about the band. Summer school is still something. Summer school, night school is very important, and that's changing. How are we really going to accommodate these kids? Talking about we're going to give them, online schooling as if that can replace the learning that they can get. And these are some of our more vulnerable kids that need the support and then one-on-one. We got to figure something out and really understand how this is going to impact them, because we didn't protest that as much as everybody protested orchestra. The other thing is how are we going to spend the money? Because I know we got 2% instead of 1%, and is that what's going to go towards orchestra? If you could let us know that. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Seem. Would anybody else like to sign up for public comment tonight? All right. Seeing none, we're about to move into our new business consent agenda personnel resolutions. Colleagues, can I get a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda for personnel resolutions number 26-449, 1 through 1, number 26-450, 1 through 15, number 26-451, 1 through 1, number 26-452, 1 through 8, number 26-453, 1 through 26, number 26-454, 1 through 23, and number 26-455, 1 through 3, according to the recommended action for each item.
So moved, Williams.
Second, Lewis.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Vasquez, congratulations. And then colleagues, I'm going to call the consent agenda, but the last resolution is not part of it. Ms. Lewis, the vice president, will be calling that because I have to abstain because there's a conflict. So colleagues, can I get a motion in a second to approve consent agenda for general resolutions, number 26-456 and through number 26-266, according to the recommended action for each item?
So moved, Jacob.
Second, Clayton Fernandez.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So Ms. Lewis, I'll have you do the last one.
Colleagues, can I have a motion, a second, for number 26-267?
Second, Clayton Fernandez.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, sorry. Any abstain? Will?
Yes, I abstained.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Motion carries. Our next meeting will be on Wednesday, July 1st, which will be our annual organizational meeting. It will be at City Hall and it will start at 7 o'clock because there will be no executive session. That is the meeting where the clerk will start the meeting because we have to swear in the new board members and elect leadership and then vote on tons of resolutions to reauthorize this school year. Colleagues, can I get a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
So moved, Williams.
Second, Jacob.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good night, everyone.